Elite Gaming.
What's up guys, it's Andrew at EliteGamingHQ, and today I want to talk to you guys about the Lexip mouse that's currently in Kickstarter. First of its kind, maybe, but is it any good?
What truly sets the Lexip mouse apart from its competitors is its conveniently positioned joystick on the side of the mouse, along with its internal mechanical 2-axis joystick, which allows users to operate the mouse to tilt or to use as a joystick, offering two options in one. This mini joystick features mechanical feedback forces that only regular-sized joysticks used to offer, making this the first of its kind.
So as far as the mouse goes, I had to get used to it, maybe put a good 20 hours into it before I felt comfortable with the mouse. I personally like a bigger mouse. I have a Corsair M65, something big and heavy, and that's kind of what I'm used to. So anytime I make an adjustment and any of my setup, it takes a little bit of getting used to. So I did not feel that this would be a fair assessment of this product, unless of course I used it for a while. But before we get into my thoughts, first I must say that this video is sponsored by Lexa. They sent me this mouse out just so I could review it. But regardless of that, you're going to get my fair and honest opinions because that's just how I do. In this video, I'm going to break this review down into a couple sections. We're going to cover build quality, software and gaming, and my final thoughts. First, let's go over build quality. As far as I've used this mouse, it feels like it's built pretty well. Although, I haven't had time to test it for a prolonged use, let's say a year, but preliminary results show really highly of the build quality. One thing is nice is they included a braided cable, ceramic feet on the bottom of the mouse, and very good rubber hand rests. For a lot of people, they may not think these features matter, but if you get a nice mouse and you use it all the time, you will see that they do. So altogether, it's come together pretty well, although I do understand the mouse that's in Kickstarter is not the exact model that was provided for me for testing. After reviewing that mouse and comparing it to the one I have, they seem very similar, and I do not think there's going to be huge variance as far as how it feels in your hand. Next, we have to move on to the software and its gaming application.
Do a stun.
Go, Elite, go!
Nice.
Don't be out there though.
So clearly the mouse that I was provided would be made something for mechanical drawings or things like this, right? But Lexip wants to move into the gaming market, so they redesigned their product and release it in a Kickstarter to reach a bigger audience. Honestly, I think this is probably something that came about from gamers. When you look at a mouse like this, you would think that you want to try it for gaming, and I'll explain to you why. The mouse is unique in which it has 2-axis thumbsticks, kind of like a controller. One being where your thumb sits, and one being the mouse itself. Now already when you think of something like that, your mind can light up for possibilities of how you could hotkey any of these different movements to make gaming or mechanical drawing more accessible. And this actually applies to me in a very good way. See, I like to have a lot of hotkeys on my mouse, particularly in PUBG, and I'll explain to you how it's working against my favor. Whereas for instance, I like to use the center mouse wheel to roll up and down for primary weapon 1 and primary weapon 2. This feels natural to me, it's a quick fluent action. I can still keep my fingers on the WASD and switch weapons very quickly while moving. The problem is when I keybound it to the mouse wheel, I was unable to use zoom and scopes, let's say like the 8 times. It would automatically switch my weapon and it made the 8 times less versatile.
You know what? Okay. Nice shot.
So if you don't play PUBG, basically what that means is the 8x scope can be zoomed back to a 4x scope, or zoomed back to find people, then zoomed back into 8 so that you can take your shots. And this is done with the mouse wheel, which feels very natural. Moral of the story, a couple months ago I was looking to get a new mouse because my Corsair M65 does not have enough buttons to give me exactly what I want in this game. But if you use the simple software they have here and the key bindings, you can easily change the thumbstick and the mouse itself to hotkey whatever you want. So what I found most useful is the thumbstick to go primary and secondary weapon, as well as the mouse itself to take the place of Alt as far as free look. Something as simple as this can be a huge game changer in any game. And this is PC gaming, where everybody tries to use every little input device along with 144Hz monitors, low response time, and everything else they can to give them a competitive advantage. It takes a little time to get used to, but I truly believe a mouse like this will give you a competitive advantage. So as you'll see, if I press up or down, I'll lean left or right. Up being right, left being down. So this is pretty advantageous, as if I can sneak around the corner here, I can peek left, I can fire off, and when a quick change of front or back, I can switch from primary 1 to primary 2 weapons. Which in PUBG, if you're a player of that, this would be pretty useful as if a car is coming into you and closing the range. See, for me, gaming with the keyboard feels good when I keep my hands on the gaming home keys, but sometimes deviating off, I may not be able to quickly get back to the WASD without looking. Another great thing about this software is you can also bind 2 keys together, and what comes to mind is that old PUBG crouch jumping that everybody used to do to get out of buildings to go through windows before vaulting was implemented. If only I would have had this then. Most players were forced to take their hand off their mouse while keeping their fingers on W and putting their right hand on spacebar and crouch at the same time to make a proper crouch jump. If we would have had this mouse at that time, that would have eliminated the whole thing with one press of a button. Obviously, this is a limited circumstance, but I tell you this because, well, you can use your imagination to see how many different applications this could be used for. I was delighted also to see that the software has specific presets that you can program for each game. So once you get your binding correct, most people don't play just one game all the time. They'll be able to switch from one game to another, or you can just do old-fashioned rebind separate keys that you don't normally use, like I've done with the end key. Who really uses end in gaming? And as I said with the free look, if you look here, you can see how the mouse compresses. It'll go forward, backward, it'll go left or right. Now, I used it for free look. I personally will not use it for forward and backward. Maybe backward in some specific situations that I can't think of off the top of my head, but forward is just not going to happen for me because the way this mouse is laid out is that the finger buttons are moved only partially across the mouse so that you can slide your fingers forward and then be able to lean the mouse forward. The problem with this is that's not naturally how I hold the mouse. Now, going backwards or left to right is pretty easy for me, but holding it like a claw and moving all the way forward is not a comfortable position for how I hold my hand, so this won't be used by me. I could see it being useful in something like a flight simulator or something like that, but for all the people who play flight simulator, they might be better off with just the joystick that comes with these type of games. So realistically, no device is going to make you a better gamer. No device is going to make you a professional gamer. But can this help? I truly think so. I think that I would continue to use it, and once you get past the learning curve, something like this becomes a part of muscle memory, and it just gives you more versatility over your opponents. Another very interesting thing is Lexip is also offering a left-handed version. A lot of people buy mice that are symmetrical because if they're a left-hand gamer, they would just switch it on the left side, which the 2 left-handed gamers I know personally still game as if they were a right-handed gamer, but that's besides the point. But Lexip is offering a left and right-handed mouse. How this is kind of important and kind of interesting and cool is if you were a one-armed gamer, this would be perfect for you. If you lost your right arm in, let's say, a war or a car accident, you could still game fully with your left hand with this very mouse and be able to play such games like PUBG or anything else that you would still enjoy in life. And hats off to them for doing something like that. It's like a hidden little plus in there. Now, obviously, I'm doing this to promote the Lexip Kickstarter, and if you're interested in this device, I really think you should check it out. The Kickstarter has a lot more information on there. But one thing I will say, if you do want something like this, then you need to jump on it quick, because Lexip met their Kickstarter goals within 25 minutes of launching. And at the current time, when I look back now, they are double their current goal and are starting to sell out of their tiers of product. They guarantee that if you buy this product now, it'll be shipped to you by June. What that also tells me is if you really want something like this and you're not willing to fork over the money now, you may not be able to get one of these until late this year or maybe next year. So you better hurry up on that part, and the link for that Kickstarter will be in the description below.
It's at 110.
To your left, right there.
By the cactus. We picked up the rock right now.
So on to my final thoughts. Do I think this is a good product? I do. I do think it can give you a competitive advantage as well as be a great resource for many programs. My recommendation to buy it is basically on you. If you do have the money to buy it, it's not going to be a waste. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, but is it worth it to you? You also have to take in consideration what you're going to use it for. Some games like Overwatch, I don't really think it's necessary. But everybody loves PUBG, and I feel like in PUBG, it can really step up your game. The real deciding factor for me is would I continue to use it, which yes I am. I will continue to use it. Once I got used to it, I felt very comfortable. In PC gaming, input devices are important and versatility of input devices. So I'm very happy to see something like this because I feel like it's definitely a step in the right direction in moving forward with gamers, along with the hidden bonus of being able to help one-armed gamers or something simple like scrolling through web pages with just one hand on the mouse and having the ability of full navigation. So it has my approval, and I say say at the very least, check out the Kickstarter, see what it's all about. That about wraps up this review and everything I have to say about this product. But if you guys have any further questions or you want to see anything else, just leave it in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them all. And be sure to check out some other videos on the channel, like China number 1.
China number 1.
Okay. I don't really know what China is number 1 at, but okay.
No, China number 1.
Alright. If you say so, buddy. The only thing I know China number 1 at is maybe making lead-based children's toys. Guarantee that one will have you laughing. But nevertheless, thanks for watching, guys. My name is Andrew, and this is Elite Gaming HQ. Catch you on the next one, guys.